Beautiful weather, great friends, really good food, and the riding season in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Stick around. What's up? J Street Moto here, and welcome to the channel. Thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying things that I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell so that you're notified when new content comes out. And if you like this video, click the like button as well. For those of you that have been watching the videos that have been released over the past couple of weeks, you'll know that we were on a very long cross-country trip, and I was just kind of summarizing each day of that trip and putting it out on YouTube. This is really the first video that I've taken of just us riding on some random day. In this case, it's a Sunday afternoon, and the weather was just freaking gorgeous. One of the and this is, I should say, this is mid-August at this point in the Charlotte area. We finished our trip in mid-June. One of the reasons I hadn't taken any video, there were a couple reasons for that. One was I had so much content from the cross-country trip that I was trying to wrap my head around and put together, that when I went out to ride, I just wanted to go ride. I didn't want to think about putting the camera on the bike. I didn't want to think about where I was going to be riding to. I didn't want to think about hitting the record button. I just wanted to unplug and go ride somewhere. So I took a few weeks off of recording anything when I rode. One of the other things that I did during that time, though, was I kind of messed with the settings on the camera. When I was putting together the cross-country trip videos, the video itself felt too warm. What I mean by that is the sky wasn't the right color blue. In some cases, the grass was browner than it actually was when we went by there. So it was just there was a tint to the video that I didn't like. And so I did on a couple of days go out riding just to take little short videos with different settings on the camera to figure out kind of what I liked and how I wanted the video to appear to you guys. And what you're looking at right now is the result. This is kind of where I settled. It's kind of where I felt like it gave the best representation of what I was really seeing, which is kind of what I'm trying to do when I put these videos together for you guys, is to think, I want y'all to be able to feel like you were there. So let me know in the comments if you notice a difference between this and any of the other videos from the run to the Pacific. Be interested to know, and whether you have a preference. You might not care. So on this Sunday, David and Juan and David's wife, all three rode over to my house, and we climbed on the bikes and decided we would start with lunch. And I should go ahead and plug the restaurant that we ate at. I did not get pictures of the food. I'm probably going to start doing that going forward. But we ate at this place. There's a local Mexican chain in the Charlotte metro area called La Unica. And the one in Huntersville is absolutely incredible to eat at. It's completely legit. Some of the best Mexican food you can get in the Charlotte area. And so we all kind of rode there, ate a good lunch, and then decided to go for a ride going sort of, in this case, we're going east out towards Albemarle and a place called Morrow Mountain. We didn't actually go to Morrow Mountain, but that was the direction we were heading. For those of you that are in or around the Charlotte area or in North Carolina, if you ever get the opportunity and want to take a day ride, I highly recommend riding up to Morrow Mountain. It's a really fun little ride. It's not hard to get to, doesn't take long to do it, and you get to the top and you're rewarded with some really cool scenery. So just food for thought if you're ever looking for something to do on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon, and the weather's nice, check out Morrow Mountain. So let's talk about the riding season in North Carolina, especially in the Charlotte area. Now, I know a lot of you that are watching this probably live in climates where you have a riding season, where the weather is conducive to enjoyable riding and not miserable riding. We are lucky in the Charlotte area to be able to ride pretty much year-round. I know David, Juan, and I all do. I don't mind it being cold. I'm not going to ride when it's snowing or when there's sleet and ice on the roads, but other than that, I pretty much ride the bike all year long, as do David and Juan. Now, with that said, if I had to classify the riding season for Charlotte, for this area, I would say that it's, if you don't like riding in the cold, for instance, the riding season runs from about mid-February, so think Valentine's Day, all the way to about Thanksgiving. So really, the only time it's really intolerable or really cold, too cold for most people to ride, is between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day. That's it. So you've got like part of November, December, January, part of February. Rest of the year, the weather, usually there are some days during the week where the weather is just perfect for riding, which makes it a really cool place to live if you're a biker, because we're not limited. We don't have to think about, or at least I don't. I've never thought about winterizing my bike. I've never thought about throwing it on the tender and covering it up and leaving her sit for 2 or 3 months at a time. That's never been a thought that's ever entered my mind. I've never had to. I just ride all the time, year round. So yeah, that's the riding season here in North Carolina. And it gets a little, I would say you could probably say that is a true statement for everything from about where we are, the Charlotte, North Carolina area, south on the East Coast. I think all of them kind of fit into the same kind of, climate. You get further south, like Florida, even southern Georgia, you probably don't even have to worry about it being that cold during even December and January. It's pretty much for sure year-round then. But you don't get the benefit of having 4 seasons and actually getting to, enjoy 4 different distinct seasons with your riding. That's the downside to it. Now, something's getting ready to happen here, and we'll go ahead and preface it. There's going to be a second here where we go away from me talking. There's no music in the background, and you're just going to hear the audio from my camera. Something funny happens when we stop pretty shortly here, and I wanted to capture the true audio from that event, and it's about to happen right now.
Hey, that's making the cut for this video. And did you leave a wife for a sweetheart behind in some lower auditorium in shrine? And though he died back in 1916,
I'm sorry. Every time I see that, it cracks me up. So let me give you a little backstory on it and kind of explain what just happened there. I'm assuming if you're watching this channel, you ride motorcycles, and that might be a flawed assumption to make. So if you don't ride motorcycles, I'll provide a little miniature explanation. If you do, sorry, I'm having to explain this. So everybody that rides a bike at some point has stalled their motorcycle, probably more than once. You think that you're in neutral when you let go of the clutch to do something with your left hand, and immediately the bike lurches forward, it shuts off, and if you're riding with other people, every single person there was looking at you when it happened. That's just the bad luck of it. And it's quite comical, actually. It happens to all of us. That's what makes it funny, is because all of us have been there, all of us have dealt with it, and it tickles the funny bone. So what had just happened was we pulled up to a stoplight, and Juan thought he was in neutral, and we went to take his hand off the clutch, and he wasn't in neutral. The bike lurched forward and it stalled out, and he thought he was able to recover from it before David or I saw it. But not only did David and I both see it, we're the ones laughing on the video, by the way. Not only did we see it, but the camera was running when it happened, and it captured it too. And you even hear me yell in there that that part of the video was going to make the cut. I made that promise to Juan, and I kept it. So it won't be the first time that anything embarrassing happens to any of us, but it was pretty funny that day, and it made for it made for some entertainment for us while we were sitting at a traffic light. So yeah, that was what you just witnessed. That's what you saw. I'm going to go ahead and state it now because there was music playing in the background, and I do not own the rights to that music, and you were going to be able to hear it on this video. So YouTube, I don't own the rights to any of the Dropkick Murphys songs, especially not that one. So hopefully, you don't give me a copyright claim just because you're able to hear that in the background while, I wanted you guys to be able to listen to me and David laugh and basically pick on Fluffy and give him a hard time. So we decided we were going to try on this day to ride out to a distillery that's in the Charlotte area, and we ended up missing the turnoff for it, and we're so close to where David and his wife would normally turn off to go home that we just decided to skip the distillery altogether. And it ended up just kind of starting to make our way back. So in a minute here, David and his wife are going to peel off. Me and Juan are going to be by ourselves, and we're going to be rolling back to the north side of the city. Just to kind of put things in perspective for you geographically, the Charlotte metro area is pretty big. And when I say pretty big, it's not New York, right? It's not even Atlanta. But it does take, from one side, from north to south, it takes you, if you're on the interstate, it's probably going to take you about 35 to 40 minutes to make that trip without any traffic. So if you think about the Charlotte metro area kind of like a clock, David and his wife live down around between 5 and 6 on the clock. Juan and I live up at basically noon or between 12 and 1. We live at the top of the clock. So when we go home, we're kind of going to go around the clock to get there. We'll leave from about, the 4 o'clock part, and start heading back towards 3, 2, 1, and 12 to go back towards our houses. That's how we're going to go home on this day. We're heading that way now. David and his wife are already probably at their house at this point. So yeah, this is, I know this is different than what you're used to seeing if you've been watching some of the daily releases. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do going forward. I'm really leaning towards something that is kind of, we pick a destination that day, either for, food, or to tour a place that's making whiskey, or to, go visit a brewery somewhere, and then video the ride there and talk about the products that they sell and kind of give a review on them. I'm kind of leaning towards that direction for like just the regular content that it would exist on this video channel. But I don't know. Haven't figured it out yet. In any case, like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and always ride safe.